Hey guys, Metal here. Today I'm going to be talking about the customs map on Escape from Tarkov, going over important loot spawns, and just showing you how to win, how to extract. I'm going to be also doing this with the factory. I'm going to be doing a lot of Escape from Tarkov coverage now that the NDA is lifted, so hope you guys find it useful. So all of the players spawn in this area around this big red warehouse, not necessarily right inside of this fenced-in area, but on this side of the bridge and the river. When you play customs, there will be up to 7 players, so be sure whenever you run into a player, if you kill him or you just find a player body, that you count. You can always identify by the player bodies that they are, if they have the black shirt from the bear or the green shirt from the USEC with the digital camo on it. The first point of interest is this loot crate inside of the red warehouse. Honestly guys, I usually skip this. Their loot crates can have useful things in them sometimes, but having to move into this loot crate is fairly dangerous because all the other players are in this area at the start of the game. Another point of interest is upstairs here. If you get a hold of the customs key, which I believe has like a blue rubber cover on it, you can open this door up here. However, as far as I know, there's nothing really terribly useful inside of here. So it's not a key that's worth a whole lot. Another point of interest around the spawn area is back here against this big like blue wall. There's a couple trucks parked around. There's a loot crate in the back of one of them, and then another loot crate over here in the back corner. I would be aware though that there are 2 player spawn points right here. One, the player will spawn standing about here, so he'll spawn literally here facing outward like this. Or you can also spawn over in the bushes over there. So I would recommend that you don't really bother try to get to these 2 crates, as they're going to be looted before you ever get here if that player is at all smart. Or you might just get ambushed by one of the players who spawned around here. That's also very possible. The blue walls back there where the loot crates are, the big red warehouse is right there. So we're about on the other side of the starting half of the map from where I started. There's a big like compound full of like self-storage units in there. Little tiny like cells of storage crap. I wouldn't even bother going through there. That place is just a nightmare. So many fucking corners to check, and there's no way you're going to get any good loot out of it. When you spawn in the beginning, stick to one of the roads and get the hell out of here. When you're in the process of getting the hell out of here, you will either go to the right side, which you will see in a bit, or you'll go to the left side. The left side has a bridge and a makeshift bridge. So they have the main bridge here on the other side of these train cars. Right there. That's the main bridge. When you are at the train cars, be careful. There's usually a scav around there in the woods somewhere, or possibly on like this area. So just be aware. There's usually a scav around here, and it's the first scav you're going to see. There's also, if you go down through the shrubs and stuff to the left, there's going to be a makeshift bridge. Now the makeshift bridge is pretty dangerous. You're mostly relying on stealth, but it's very easy to be shot by a scav or player who's up on the ledge here, and if you don't have body armor or anything, you're probably just going to die doing that. I would recommend sticking to the actual bridge or to the land bridge, which is on the far right hand side of the map from here, which is down there. Most players don't really have a good way of engaging you from this far. They'll need some sort of scope or magnified optic, really. It's all the way down there. So, they could shoot you with an iron sight, but they're just probably not even going to try. They might not even see you. So I would just recommend either using the real bridge or using that over there, as the makeshift bridge is very vulnerable. However, if you do make the cross on the big bridge, there are a couple of places you need to worry about. There might be a scav at the other end of it as well. And there are a couple of spots where a sniper scav will spawn with view of the bridge. You might spawn where you see that big billboard. It says some stuff in Russian. I don't speak Russian, but he might spawn on that building where I'm aiming right now. He can also spawn on another industrial building behind it. These are the early 2 sniper scav spawns. You also might have him spawn on that back brick building there. You more need to worry about that if you are crossing on the right side. You do have to cross right under that building, and you'll be very vulnerable to that sniper scav. You won't have much cover at all. The bridge is down there. There's a land bridge here. Up by this truck that says "Welcome to Tarkov," there is another loot crate spawn location, which is around the back. It is right here. This one, I usually do check as I come through. Because it is here, you're fairly safe. I usually, when I spawn in customs, I just try to make this crossing as quickly as possible before other players have the chance to get in position or camp it. Right across the bridge, there's this little shack. It is a convenience store. If you open the front door and you go to the back, there is a cash register, which has a good chance of giving you dollars, rubles, or euros. So obviously when you're searching this, you really want to get a hold of rubles. You want to get a hold of dollars or euros, not rubles. Although rubles are always nice, dollars or euros are kind of rare and can be used to buy some nice items in the stores. From that shack, if you cross the street and go off the road a ways, you will come across a campsite. The campsite does have another crate in it. This is right next to the dorms. This is a little bit of a dangerous spot, but usually you won't take any sort of fire here. Now we're at the dorms. My preferred entry point for the dorms is obviously the front door. However, I find it to be much safer to come up to this back area and open this door. That way you're much less likely to aggro scavs and take fire. Whenever you aggro scavs and take fire, other players will definitely hear that. If they're smart, they'll know that whenever someone's taking fire, it's always a player, since scavs will never engage each other. If there's an engagement going on, there's always a player involved. Either it's scav on player or player on player. So, on the second floor here, the other advantage coming through that door is it puts you right next to the 3 loot crates, which are in the dorms on this level. You've got one here, and then one here. So, on this level, there are a couple doors you can breach and a couple doors that are locked. So, there is 218 here, or 220, sorry, is locked, and then there is, I think this is 212, that is also locked. So you can get either of those. There's also doors that you can breach. That is not one of them, but I know for a fact there are doors in this level that you can kick down. However, it's generally not worth doing so. They don't have much in them. Unless you're like really desperate for like a couple of rubles or like food or something. I would just avoid being detected and breaching doors overall, as it's not always really worth it. Beyond this, there is not a whole lot of reason to checking any of the dorm rooms that aren't locked, because not really any of them have anything in them. Upstairs, there are a couple more locked doors. This is on the 3rd story now. There is the marked room, so it's got all these like scribblings and blood all over it. If you can get a key to it, it's the marked key, goes to the marked room. There will usually be a tricked out pistol and like a grenade or a magazine or something in there. And that's definitely worth checking out. It's a fairly easy key to get, so whenever you grab it, you may as well just open that door. There's actually a good chance you'll get it off of a scav while doing the mission. Also have room 306, this is a locked door. There's a couple of other ones, 303. I don't know if there's keys for all these. I know there's one for 306. Most of these locked rooms don't have much in them besides rubles. A couple of them have weapon spawns in them, although I'm not sure entirely which ones. If you do know that for sure, go ahead and leave that in the comments. Help out your other viewers and myself. That'd be awesome. On the 1st floor, there is a very important spawn. It is the factory key. It didn't spawn this time, but it spawns right here on the desk. It's very easy to see. You can see it from the window. Here, I have mine, so I can kind of toss it. It'll be basically like that, sitting on the desk. So, just grab that whenever you can. I usually stick it in my container so that nobody else can grab it. Remember, with filing cabinets, you can search every level of them. I wouldn't usually bother with that, unless you're playing on, like, factory. Where there's lots of filing cabinets. You can usually get keys from filing cabinets, so it can be good in that case if you're really looking for keys. Continuing outward, there's not really anything worth shit in this smaller dorm. Just stick to that bigger dorm building and then get out of here. There are usually about 3 scavs standing out in the front around the dorms patrolling. Be careful when you're walking by windows or the front door of any of the dorms, as you will likely take fire, or if you approach from the street, you will almost surely take fire. There is also a small shop here. Okay, nope, it's just the one here. So this, again, will have euros and rubles and dollars. Here's the bus. It's down the road from the dorms. You have a good chance of running into 1 or 2 scavs there. There is also another scav usually wandering the woods here. He might be along the pipeline, or he might be back there in the bus depot. The next major point you will come across on this map is the train bridge here. The sun is kind of in my eyes, but, you know, you should be able to figure out what this is. This is a good covered position that you can use to engage the scavs who are at the gas station, which is right here. The gas station is a pretty critical point on the map. You have to go through the gas station or right around it to the left, unless you have the factory key. The factory key will allow you to open this door over to the right and shortcut right over into the industrial park where the extraction points are. And you'll have to unlock that door as well. So if you ever come up to this and it's unlocked, that means another player has used the shortcut. So here's a view from the other side of the factory key shortcut. You can look down the way, that's the big train car that fell off, and the street back there. Besides that, if you're going to push through the gas station here, there's going to be two scavs, usually, unless they've already been killed. They might be inside, they might be out front, they might be out back. It's hard to know exactly where they are. There is also a locked door back here, which I do not know exactly which key goes to this, but it has a safe in it, so you can get another shot at the euros and rubles and all that. Another couple of cash registers, again, euros and dollars, very valuable. There's another loot crate here. That one's pretty safe to get. A sniper scav may spawn on the roof of that building or on the roof of that building. So be careful when you're back here. Keep an eye out. You might take fire from a sniper scav. There is another crate back here behind these sandbags at the end of the street. Inside of this building, once you go through the hole in the fence here, check inside of this building for another weapon spawn. It is in here, in this door, back in this corner. Nothing spawned, but it'll be like right here. And again, usually weapons are covered in attachments right now. Once you have checked that building, which is right over there now, you'll come through back to this road. And there is one of the 3 extraction points on the map is inside of this bunker here. So you just open the door. And you walk down to the end of the hallway here. That's one extraction point. There are 2 more. From this extraction point, if you run down the train tracks here. Alright, so here's the second extraction point. Now, you need to be careful with this one because there's barbed wire hidden in the grass and the bushes. But you walk through down the path and you'll be fine. If you come from the industrial park over there, you can just cut through the woods and be right here. There are usually a bunch of scavs out here in this area, though. Back here is usually like 2, 3, 4. And there's usually about that many back in that area towards the other extraction point as well. So this one is laid out just like the last extraction point. It's a little staircase down to a hallway on the left. Back of that door, you'll start to extract. The last extraction point is back behind this big warehouse. You can either walk right through the warehouse and come out this door in the back, or you can just go cut around. So you can go through that door, or you can just cut around the building on the street. Either way, you'll be very close to this if you use the shortcut with the factory key when you come through. There will be one scav out here. Sometimes loot spawns in the back of the van. There's also another loot crate back here. There'll be a scav to kill, and then you go back to the doorway of this gas station. There can be weapons that spawn and weapon attachments. So we got a magazine here on the desk. There can also be a weapon on the couch, like an actual weapon. And then if you go into the back and go down, there'll be another gate to open. And there will be the last extraction point. Hey guys, I hope you found this customs raid walkthrough useful. If you did, please leave a like. If you want to see more Escape from Tarkov or other tactical shooter content from me in the future, please go ahead and subscribe. If I missed anything in this walkthrough, if I missed any important weapon spawns or something, please go ahead and leave that in the comments. I'd love to know, and I'm sure everyone else who saw this video would love to know as well. My Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook are all in the description and on the screen. And if you really enjoy my content, you can support me on Patreon. That would be a massive help. Have a great one, everyone.